Come unwrap some holiday magic this season in Denver, where the lights are brighter and the shopping is grander, where the season feels a whole lot more wonderful. Discover great hotels and more things to do at milehighholidays.com.
So you've found the perfect home, but high mortgage rates have you second guessing. The Churchill Mortgage Team says waiting to buy can be a costly mistake. Try their free 15-minute analysis to see the difference between buying now versus waiting for lower rates. Visit churchillmortgage.com to learn a smarter way to build wealth through home ownership. This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender. 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Let's seek the truth and travel the long road to justice together. What you know, Alibis, welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. Happy Sunday. It's September 4th. And I have been following this story all weekend of Eliza Fletcher, who was abducted. It was caught on surveillance. So I wanted to go ahead and get an episode in just on what we know so far. If you can see behind me on YouTube, I added a banner above my logo. This case is what got me back into true crime, and just wanted to put something up in here as a reminder of why I sit here and do what I do. And it's people like those behind me and their family members and everybody who's affected by horrible, horrible crimes. And I hope to add to that wall as well with other cases that we've covered in the past as well as in the future, and fill that wall up eventually in honor of all those lives lost to evil deeds. So before we get started, I want to give a big, big thank you to Diane and Couture Stalker for their donations. I really appreciate your generosity. Music fact before we get started: Patsy Cline, my dad's mom, my granny, raised me on Patsy Cline, and my Aunt Lila, my great Aunt Lila. They lived together pretty much their whole life. And so Patsy Cline's very near and dear to my heart. Initially, Patsy Cline did not want to record Walking After Midnight because she said she thought it was more of a pop song and she was country. But it reached number 2 on the country charts and 16 on the pop charts. And Patsy was the first singer to have a crossover pop hit. Now, another interesting little tidbit: the song Crazy that she's probably most known for was written by Willie Nelson. And that tells you how long old Willie's been around. Unfortunately, Patsy Cline died in a plane crash at the young age of 30. All right, so we're going to get into this Eliza Fletcher story. This is crazy insanity, just, oh man, scary. It's a scary world, y'all, and seeing and hearing stuff like this is just a reminder, especially when you have kids in it. So she was last seen on a run Friday morning in Memphis, Tennessee, on surveillance. That picture on the left, if you're on YouTube, was taken about 4:30 a.m. near the University of Memphis campus. She is a kindergarten teacher, a married mom of 2, and actually she is the granddaughter to the founder of Orgill Hardware Company, which does about $3 billion in annual sales. She is an experienced runner, having qualified for the Boston Marathon. And the abduction was captured on surveillance, which was on Central Avenue in Memphis. A black GMC Terrain passes her, then stops and waits for her to run past. The guy, his name, I'm going to call him Cleo, is seen running aggressively towards her and forces her into the passenger side of the car. The abduction, like I said, was captured on surveillance in its entirety. And interestingly enough, 24 minutes before that abduction, they see that car on surveillance, and they grabbed a partial plate number as well as saw that the back passenger taillight had damage to it. Once she was forced into the car through the passenger seat, it sat parked for around 4 minutes with her inside before it drove off. And according to the affidavit, police were dispatched around 7 a.m. to her home after her husband called to say she had not returned from her normal morning run, which usually starts at 4 a.m., he said. During the struggle, Cleo lost his Champion brand flip-flops while struggling to get her inside the car. It's the same pair, actually, they saw him the day before on some surveillance they found wearing. So they so what happened is a citizen was riding their bike in front of a home that was owned by the university and found not only those flip-flops, but also Eliza's cell phone, which was kind of broken in the struggle, as well as her water bottle, and gave those items to Eliza's family, who then handed them over to investigators. So investigators interviewed the owner of a cleaning service where Cleo works, and she provided his phone number and verified that he drove that GMC truck. Cell phone records taken from his phone shows him in the vicinity of where Eliza was abducted that morning. So a witness saw Cleo around 7:50 a.m. the morning of the abduction, cleaning the interior of his car with floor cleaner. He was at his brother's house, not his own. And this witness said he was behaving oddly. His brother Mario also confirmed her story of him cleaning the interior, and both witnesses say that he was washing his clothes in his brother's sink. Mario agreed Cleo was acting strange. Also, Mario was arrested on unrelated charges to the kidnapping, some drugs and weapons charges. So yesterday, on the 3rd, the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force found the car, which was backed into a parking space, and the plate number and the damage to that rear tail light was the same as what was seen on that surveillance video 24 minutes before the abduction. His name is Cleotha, I think. Cleotha. He was seen standing in the doorway of a residence and attempted to flee, but was caught. So he's been charged with especially aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. He has not told authorities right now where Eliza is. There he is there. His last name is Abston, Cleo Abston. His nickname is Pookie, but I'm not going to sit here and say Pookie like 50 times. So the affidavit also says the evidence in the car included blood found, leads them to believe that Eliza has suffered serious injury. Investigators were seen taking a dumpster from outside of his brother's home, as well as they were seen looking through a dumpster at a McDonald's last night. So what's interesting is back in 2000, Cleo was around 16 or 17. He was arrested for aggravated robbery and kidnapping of a prominent attorney in Memphis who was leaving a party around 2 a.m. on Beale Street, the famous Beale Street. And Cleo approached that lawyer from behind and took his wallet and forced him into the trunk of his car at gunpoint and rode around with that guy in the trunk for 2 hours and picked up a friend. So a couple of hours later, they take this attorney to an ATM to withdraw money. The attorney sees a uniformed Memphis Housing Authority officer and yelled for help, which kind of scared Cleo and his friend off. And so Cleo was given 20 years without parole back in 2000. His friend ran and got, I think, a lesser sentence, but he was released in 2020. And Cleo had a lengthy juvenile record, which included theft and aggravated assault. Just a dangerous person from a young age, obviously. So after the recovery of the car and the apprehension of Cleo, her family gave an interview with their lawyer present. Now, a lot of people have said, why do you lawyer up if you've done nothing wrong? I've had a lot of people ask, do you think that the husband's involved? I have no clue. I haven't seen anything to indicate other than they did take a Jeep Wagoneer from the home, some garden shears, and a computer device. But, you know, these days, if you watch any kind of true crime and you see a wife goes missing, the husband's automatically going to be your first suspect. I can't say that I blame anybody for lawyering up these days the minute you're accused of something, whether you're innocent or not. So a Facebook post by the school that she works at last year said, her smile brightens every room she enters. She's a caring and passionate teacher who is always looking for creative ways to teach to all learners. She knows each student individually and does whatever she can to excite them for learning. You will always find her celebrating big and small successes in the classroom. Cleo has his first court appearance Tuesday at 9 a.m. And today, about 3 p.m., Ian Ripple on Twitter posted that there looks to be the assembly of a search party. I will post these pictures on Google Drive for those of you who are solely podcast listeners. I'll put that link in the description. You can see these pictures. As of right before I went on, they haven't confirmed it was related to Eliza, but as of 4:40 p.m., Kayla Solomon posted some pictures that they have a search with scent dogs happening right now in a wooded area in South Memphis. The location is less than a mile away from the apartment complex where Cleo's brother lives, according to the police affidavit. And as of right now, Eliza has not been found. It's never really good news when you find blood, evidence of blood in a vehicle, and no contact from somebody. Hopefully, maybe in a stroke of amazing luck, she's injured somewhere and they do find her. But as of right now, if you have any information or details on her whereabouts, call 911, the Memphis Police at 901-528-2274 or 901-545-2677 or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. It seems that we, hopefully we'll hear something soon. You never know with these kind of cases, but just a really, really sad situation that, she's missing and has 2 babies and all that jazz. So, all right, guys, I'll keep you updated if anything breaks. If it's something really short, I'll do a YouTube short, or if something major happens, I'll come back on and do another full episode on it. Tomorrow, last episode for a little while on the Vallow Daybell Mega Series. Tuesday, we have openings in the George Wagner IV trial for the Pike County Massacre. Each side is expected to have about 2 hours of openings. So ready for that to get started every night. I'm going to break it down and bring you the best testimony of the day. This is one that a lot of us have waited on to see. How do you kill 8 members of one family in one night? And so the details are going to be very, very interesting, I think. All right, guys, you have a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow, unless something crazy happens.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger in the mall over a stuffed T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a lame holiday deal, relax in the Black Card Spa with some Hydro Massage feels. Instead of being trapped at your in-laws, escape to any of our 2,400 Planet Fitness locations. Sign up today for the Planet Fitness Black Card, just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends November 30th. See Club for details.
The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. You could do a classic herb-roasted turkey or spice it up and make turkey tacos. Serve up a go-to shrimp cocktail or use Simple Truth wild-caught shrimp for your first Cajun risotto. Make creamy mac and cheese or a spinach artichoke fondue from our selection of Murray's cheese. No matter how you shop, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace all your holiday traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone.